Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. You guys know what to do. Make sure you smash the likes and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, guys, because when we hit 4,000 subscribers, which is less than 100 now, about 80 away, there'll be a prize draw and your chance to win a Chelsea shirt of your choice for the upcoming season. So please do hit that subscribe button. The quicker we get there, the quicker you've got your chances of getting your hands on a Chelsea shirt of your choice for the upcoming season. But yeah, guys, let's dive straight into today's video, and it's going to be about Conor Gallagher, because last night Chelsea rejected a £40 million offer for the midfielder from West Ham United. Obviously, they're looking to replace Declan Rice. They've got a little bit of money to spend, as we know. And Fabrizio Romano point, Chelsea rejected West Ham's first bid for Conor Gallagher around 40 million with add-ons, so taking it to around, I think, the £42 million mark. After discussing internally, and importantly here as well, also of Pochettino, which is a good thing to see, Chelsea decided to reject. West Ham remain interested, but Chelsea want at least £50 million to sell Gallagher. Now, for what it's worth, people, I actually not against selling Conor Gallagher per se, but we cannot be in a position where we haven't bought any midfield players in and we get rid of another one before anyone's even come in. Now, you look at who we've lost already from midfield. Ruben, Kovacic, Mount, Kante. That's four senior midfield players that we've lost from the club, and not a single one has come in to replace any of them. And so for me, until we get to that point where someone else has come in, i.e. a Caicedo or someone else, we shouldn't even be entertaining looking to sell Conor Gallagher. Now, I know there's a lot of people that don't think Gallagher's good enough for Chelsea, that would like to get rid of him in a heartbeat, would accept like 20 million to get rid of him. Oh, he's not good enough. All he does is run around. But actually, look, I feel that he can be of value to the squad. I think under Maurizio Pochettino, I can see that Poch would like the characteristics that he possesses. I think he's a fan of the player. He's done well in pre-season. Maybe that man bun is transforming his fortunes. Who knows? 2 from 2 with the man bun. But it's clear that Pochettino wouldn't mind keeping him. But it's also clear that ultimately, if Chelsea were to receive £50 million, it'd be pure profits on the books for an academy player. And, you can't really say no to that money. But a lot of it's going to come down as to what Conor Gallagher wants to do himself. But let's just summarise this situation. So obviously, Chelsea, as I said, rejected the £40 million bid from West Ham. It's important also to say, guys, that Chelsea aren't actively looking to sell Conor Gallagher per se, but obviously the club will consider any offers, in and around that £50 million region, because obviously, we've got younger players, the emergence of Carney Chukwuemeka, who can get decent minutes there as well. Lewis Hall, Cassidy, Andre Santos, to name a few. So that's obviously going to come into the club's thinking as well. Currently there's no further bid there. Gallagher also not looking to leave the club at this point in time. I think it's important to maintain and respect the fact that Gallagher, whilst has come through the academy, loves the club, been here since he was 6 years old. And I think it's important to keep players like that around the place. I think it is really important to have a core of players that understand the fabric of the club and get what it means to play for the club. But he's not actively looking to leave at this point in time. But there's also the fact that we have to think from his personal point of view that he needs to be getting regular game time ahead of the European Championships next summer with England. Now, if he's at Chelsea, he's probably not going to be starting on a regular basis. So we could be looking at a situation where his England chances could be harmed. So it might be better for him, for his England chances and going to the Euros, to go elsewhere and play regularly. Now, at West Ham United, he would certainly play regularly. And Gallagher, I'm sure, recognised himself that, if he drops down the pecking order, he may need to leave. As I was saying before, Pochettino happy with Gallagher, and the club will keep him, and Poch will be happy to keep him if the valuation is not made. This is very much a situation where it's not, the club aren't actively looking to sell Gallagher at any cost. They've got a valuation. If that valuation is met, they will accept a bid, and it will come down to the player. But it's also important to state that Pochettino is happy with Conor Gallagher and would be happy to keep him if that valuation isn't made. It's also interesting that Chelsea and West Ham are both denying that the £40 million offer plus bonuses that was allegedly made last night, even though a lot of respectable journalists are reporting that. So it's quite interesting that. But also another point is that Conor Gallagher's got 2 years left on his contract. So if he does end up staying, the club would be would have to look to extend this contract by the end of this year. Otherwise, he'd be going into the final year of his contract. And we know under this new ownership that, they don't like players going into the final year of their contract. So you either sign a new deal with 2 years to go or you're sold. So if Gallagher stays, he'll very much have to look at signing a new deal. I think also what's important to stress as well that, Chelsea would, Gallagher not pushing, as I said, his age profile fits that of Pochettino's squad. Now, I'm not saying I should just keep him for the sake of it because, he fits the age profile and he's from Cobham. I think Gallagher actually does have characteristics, attributes, etc., that can be useful to Chelsea this season, and certainly, useful to Mauricio Pochettino. At this point in time, you look at the midfield options we've got at the club. We've got Conor Gallagher, we've got Chukwuemeka, we've got Enzo Fernandez, Cassidy, Andre Santos, and maybe Lewis Saul. But we're looking at a midfield that, other than Enzo Fernandez, has got very little experience in the Premier League, very little experience in top 5 European leagues, and we would be leaving ourselves massively short. But for me, I'm happy either way. If we get £50 million for Conor Gallagher, absolutely take it. If he ends up staying, I think he can definitely be of use to the club. But it's interesting that West Ham seemingly remain confident that they can get a deal done as well. Now, it's important that, Chelsea aren't pushovers here. We've got our valuation and we think that's what the player's worth, and we're happy to keep him. If it's not met, then let's stick to that. We know that West Ham have got a lot of money to spend that Declan Rice money. They're closing in on a deal for James Ward-Prowse at around £25 million from Southampton. Conor Gallagher would be another piece there as well. And West Ham remain confident of securing a deal to sign Gallagher. But there's optimism, at the London Stadium that an agreement can be reached. So it'll be interesting to see how these negotiations continue in the coming days. Obviously, as I said, Gallagher's impressed in kind of the opening 2 games of the pre-season. So, it's an interesting situation to be in. And I don't know. I just feel we're leaving ourselves massively short. I fully understand that, we're predominantly going to employ a 4-2-3-1 under Mauricio Pochettino. So Gallagher's not a pivot player. And then we're going to have multiple options in that number 10 role. Chukwuemeka can do bits there, as can obviously Christopher Nkunku going to be the first choice. If we bring in an Elise, say a Kudus or a Cherki, that's going to be another rotation option there as well. And these guys, with the greatest respect to Conor Gallagher, are far better attacking players than he is. So you could find a situation where we do keep hold of Gallagher until maybe a Kudus comes in or an Elise or a Cherki or whatever, and then we look to sell him. I just think with the way that we're moving in the transfer market at the moment, with how slow incoming seem to be, it wouldn't be wise for me to sell Conor Gallagher, another midfield player, and leave ourselves even lighter in that part of the pitch without any incomings coming in at this point in time, which for me would kind of seem a little bit counterintuitive, a little bit mad really as well. There wouldn't really be any need for it in my point of view. And this is not me with an English bias or anything like that. Ultimately, we need to look at the situation we're at this point in time. And Gallagher can be of use. As I said, fitness, pressing, does have an eye for goal. Hasn't scored a lot of goals, but he's just as likely as any of our midfield players to stick the ball in the back of the net. He works hard. He'll die for the badge. There's not many of those at the club at this point in time. So look, I think these things are all positives in Gallagher's favour, but I'm also fully aware and fully understanding that if a bid of £50 million comes in for a player of Conor Gallagher's calibre, then you absolutely cannot say no to that. But what we have to do is make sure that, we're actually reinvesting this money and bringing in replacements of a much higher and a much better calibre. It really is as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned, because as I said, Gallagher's not a pivot option, and he's not really a number 10 option either. And we're linked with players that, as I said, are much better than Conor Gallagher in that area. So yeah, I look for me personally, I think, we could probably agree a fee with a club, and it's going to come down to what Gallagher wants to do. I think it might also come down to what players are also going to come in at the club, because there will certainly be a few more coming in, even though only one's come in so far. I'm confident in the coming weeks as we head towards August, head towards the start of the season, that a few more names will come through the door. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on the Conor Gallagher situation in the comments below. Would you keep him? Would you sell him? What would you do? Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Guys, we're about 80 away from 4K, and then that's your chance to win a Chelsea shirt of your choice for the upcoming upcoming season. So make sure you do all of those things, guys. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching the video. I'll catch you again in another video, guys. Take care. Peace out and up the Chels.